Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am introducing a new series on the channel called Women Who Do. And basically what this series is going to include is me talking with women who are doing really cool, badass things. And the idea behind this whole series is to just add another element to my channel. I want this channel to include a lot of the things that I love. And something that I love is talking with people who inspire me, especially women. I want to pick their brains about how they got to where they are today, what motivates them, challenges them, and what makes them who they are. So the first boss lady that I am chatting with is Cara Livermore, the brains and creator behind Chickpea Magazine. Luckily for me, she is based here locally in Rochester, New York, so I paid her a little visit in her adorable space at the Hungerford. And this video you're about to see is me just chatting and asking her questions about what it's like to run a vegan quarterly magazine. So I hope you guys enjoy, and welcome to the first episode of Women Who Do. I wish I had sent you these questions earlier. Would that have been easier? I don't know. I don't really know how to do this thing. First question.
Okay.
Cara, not Cara.
Yes.
Cara, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background. How did this whole magazine thing come to fruition?
So I feel like I've told you specifically this before.
Yes.
But yeah. So I got my degree in illustration, but it was kind of like a mix of different things at school. So yeah. I did photography and some design, no digital design, bookbinding, all these different things. Mm-hmm. And after school I was so burnt out that I didn't want to do anything, and so I got like really into other things such as food, and then decided to go vegan after being vegetarian for a long time. Yeah. And started a blog like basically a month after deciding that. Yeah. That grew to be so big and to the point where I didn't like it anymore. But we had the readership and the following to turn it into something else. Mm-hmm. So that's where the magazine started, and it kind of like scratched all the itches of like, I don't like blog comments and I don't like blogging every day. I want something like deeper and not so shallow as to be like a recipe. Like that's it. Mm-hmm. And I hated most magazines at the time, which was before like all these like independent magazines came out. And so it kind of like worked all together.
That's awesome. How did you get interested in veganism? Like well, first of all, what made the shift from being an omnivore to vegetarianism to veganism? So
going from omnivore to vegetarian was extremely easy, like, which I tell everybody that because it's true. Like,
it really is. Yeah.
Like going from eating pasta with chicken to eating pasta with regular sauce is like no big deal or whatever. But so that was easy. It was when I was in college, and it was because I remember specifically the point in which I was like, this is like crazy. Yeah. Is like, I would like go over to the garbage cans and they would be completely filled with like half-eaten chickens or tons of burgers. And it's like all those animals like had to die to go into the trash, which like, of course you can be like conscious about it as a meat eater. But I was like, I don't like the whole idea of like their entire life has to suffer for me to enjoy myself. Like that doesn't make sense to me like for me. Yeah. So that was easy. And then going vegan, it was the same thing with milk. It was like a dairy cow has to live its whole life giving birth, doing all this stuff for me to like milk. I don't even like milk that much. So that was really easy, like removing the milk. That was like the easiest thing. And then from there it was just like I liked being part of the community. I liked all the different things about it. So I just kept going. So
with the magazine, like, did you ever think 10 years ago or like 5 years ago, well, yeah, it was 5 years ago, almost, 7 years ago, that you would be running a magazine? And because you write, you edit, you do the pictures.
Yeah, it's sort of like all different things. Yeah. I mean, in that way, like, I knew that I could never pick one thing, and I still can't. Like, even with the magazine, I do a million other things, like freelance.
Yeah.
And I knew that I hated traditional publications. So, like, from, like, a young age, I never, like, appreciated, like, what they said or anything. So it was, like, I knew, like, it was, like, always bubbling up in the back of my head. So it's kind of, like, not a surprise.
Right.
I'm just, like, glad that it happened. I don't know.
So what about, like, mainstream publications kind of turned you off?
I think the first thing was the amount of products that they were selling that were, like, completely unattainable for regular people, like, or the fact that they were coming out every month, like, the hottest new looks. It's like, are you really buying clothes every month? Or, like, that was weird to me as, like, a formerly, like, very, like, poor person to say, like, I was, like, we never bought new clothes. We, like, had hand-me-downs that we got, like, once a year kind of thing. Like, I remember going to the mall, like, maybe 2 or 3 times my whole, like, teenagehood or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So, like, that to me, it was just, like, so outside of my realm that they were, like, I don't know. It was kind of like it was creating this, like, system of, like, buying constantly, even, like, if they weren't saying it, like, to have it on every page.
Right.
So there was, like, the amount of products, the fact that, like, advertising was mixed in with articles, so you couldn't tell the difference between them, or it would be, like, an advertisement for one thing on one page, and then they would put that same product in a product guide that wasn't sponsored on another page, and it's, like, to me, it was, like, a huge lie. So I hated that was, like, how most people, like, got their entertainment, like, in that same sort of format. So I don't know.
So growing up in the situation that you did, do you think that kind of shaped who you are and how you view the world today?
Oh yeah, like, totally, because it's all about, like, creating what you can, like, out of the situation that you have. Yeah. Which is, like, what the magazine is, and, like, why I'm not working a regular job and all of those things. But it's also, like, only buying what you, like, absolutely must, or, like, what makes you, like, the most happy.
I think that is a correlation with cooking as well. Yeah. Like, kind of making things with what you have.
And that's also what veganism is, too.
Totally.
Is, like, being, like, creative with, like, the things that you are given. Yeah. And that's what veganism is, too, to me. It's a fun challenge, not just, like,
definitely.
Oh, I feel so bad, I can only eat these things.
Yeah. So did you, like, cook before you went vegetarian, vegan, really?
No. Oh, my God. I remember in college, even when I was vegetarian, we would make, like, mashed potatoes and, like, in taco shells or something. We had no idea, like, so what to do. Yeah. Like, I would mostly eat, like, what is it called? Appetizer plates or something. So I would, like, chop up carrots and, like, hummus, and that's what I would have for
a meal.
Lunch. So I mean, also, like, I was working on, like, $20 a month or something for food, and it was, like, crazy because I was still buying blocks of cheese, and they were, like, $5 a piece. Yeah. So it was like, why was I doing that?
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, I definitely think becoming vegan, because I am a chef, and I cooked normal food. I cooked literally everything. I mean, I still do, like when I work at a restaurant or an event or something. But for myself, personally, at home, when I cook vegan, it's, like, challenged me so much creatively. Yeah. I feel like I'm just so much more, like, I'm willing to think outside of the box and kind of, like, make things that you wouldn't expect to make them out of and just make this awesome thing.
Yeah, and I think, like, changing your, like, perceptions to be vegetable focused was, like, a huge benefit for me, because that, like, benefits you in every way, like health or anything. But that's, like, what people find so hard to understand is, like, usually you have a big piece of meat in the center of your plate and then sides around the edges, and you have to, like, flip it, kind of. So,
oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. So back to Chickpea as a magazine. Yes. What kind of articles what do you post in Chickpea?
So we do all sorts of things, kind of switching it up, like, in the next year, but we're usually doing, like, book reviews, city guides, like, personal stories, like, in-depth articles about, like, the industry. Definitely recipes that we really enjoy. DIY projects. There's like pretty much anything we'll take as long as it like is really good.
Yeah. So how do you gauge what people want to read in your magazine?
I think it just has to be like maybe something you've never seen before, or like a perspective you haven't thought about.
Yeah.
Or something that might be like really helpful, or like, I don't know, the bad word is like engaging, but it's like something that, I don't know, changes how you think, I think. For at least several articles in each issue. Like, it has to like make me like want to cry or something.
Yeah.
I think in the fall issue of this year, it was like a story of a woman who worked like at her and her husband did a goat farm, and they were selling goat cheese and goat milk, and then they couldn't like make ends meet, so then they were like selling goats to be slaughtered and all these things. And so it was like this huge story about like her challenges and like I don't know, perspective and everything. So stuff like that.
That's so awesome. So where can people find you? Where can people find Chickpea?
So you can find our website at chickpeamagazine.com, and then all of our social media is linked on there. It's all complicated, so just click the links.
Okay, cool. And get yourself a copy of Chickpea Magazine. Thank you so much, Cara.
Yeah, thank you.
It was awesome. Bye, guys.